3 months ago, I started a group Ironman account, marking the first time I played Ironman mode seriously in RuneScape 3. Since this was my first serious Ironman account, I spent a lot of time learning how best to progress my account, and although I'm still fairly new to the game mode, I've played a lot of RuneScape over the years, and wanted to make a guide showing some of the best tips and tricks to progress your Ironman account. This video will be broken up into 2 segments. First, I'll show you all the tips to help you on your Ironman journey. Then I want to discuss some of my favorite things about Ironman mode and just my experience with it and why I think the game is worth trying. So, tip number 1, do quests early. Love or hate them, completing quests is essential to progressing your RuneScape account. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of quests, and sometimes it can be hard to motivate myself to complete an important series of quests to progress my account. But the better the rewards are, the more motivation I have. This is why I think completing quests early in your account's progression is really important, because the XP rewards from some of these quests will be much more impactful at lower levels. Not only that, you'll likely have to complete many of the early game quests as prerequisites for endgame quest rewards like curses, prifdiness, boss unlocks, new skilling methods, and much more. In my first week of starting my group Ironman account, quests were my main focus, as I quickly got to 100 quest points within the first week, and I got a lot of early game quests out of the way, some good unlocks, lots of XP, and even some money from May's caravan shop. Some notable quests to complete include the Knight's Sword for the smithing XP, Tourist Trap to bypass early agility levels. You also have Violet is Blue 1 and 2 for easy XP in any skill, where I chose Herblore, Fort 4 and 3 for easy construction XP. You got Beneath Cursed Tides for the Giant Oyster D&D and some XP in a skill of your choice, and that's just to name a few. Tip number 2, do your daily, weekly, and monthly D&Ds. So not everyone is a fan of dailies in RuneScape, but there's no question that it is some of the most efficient training methods you can do in the game. For dailies, I always recommend doing your daily challenges. They not only give you a good chunk of XP for the specified skill, but you also gain rewards from completing every 3rd challenge. These rewards can range from odd mints and daily challenge skip tokens to D&D reset tokens and death touch darts. Wilderness Flash Events is another overpowered D&D, however it is actually hourly. These give great XP rewards and a lot of really good alchables and chins and things like that for Ironman accounts. These special flash events happen every 4 hours and they provide even better rewards, with their highlight reward being the Dark Onyx Core, which can upgrade your Grace of the Elves later on in your account's life. These are extremely strong and definitely worth doing if you are an Ironman account, although competitive group Ironman, which is what I was playing, they are restricted against doing them. But maybe that just goes to show how overpowered Wilderness Flash events are. Gothixian caches are another daily D&D that can take up to 10 minutes to complete. You can do 2 of them per day, or up to 200 points, and you earn really good divination XP. You can also earn the divination outfit, which will provide a 6% divination XP boost when worn, and personally, Gothixian caches are how I exclusively train divination to level 80 on my group Ironman account to unlock invention. The Jack of Trades aura is also sort of like a daily. It's an aura you can use once per day and you can get XP in each skill. If you have the highest tier aura, you can get XP in 25 different skills. Then you can go claim your book for an XP reward in a skill of your choice. This is a great way to train some really annoying skills, especially Herblore for Ironman accounts and sometimes agility as well. But you can choose any skill you want. Now looking at some weekly D&Ds, this includes things like Tears of Guthix, which gives a large chunk of XP in your lowest skill. You can also do Herby Werby on Anachronia for some pretty easy Herblore XP. Then you have monthly D&Ds. These are really powerful and, in my opinion, always worth doing. Troll Invasion is the first one. It's located in Berthorpe and allows you to either fight trolls or repair and defend the wall against trolls for a really nice XP reward in a skill of your choice. For example, completing this D&D will give you 20,000 XP in a level 50 skill. It does scale with your level, but that's basically a 20% of all of the XP gain in your level 50 skill already. so it can be really helpful to level up some of the more annoying skills, again, usually used on Herblore. The Giant Oyster is another D&D. It is unlocked after the Beneath Cursed Tides quest, and it provides a random clue scroll reward chest, so that is always really nice and exciting to find, but you also get really good fishing XP every month from doing it, and also some farming XP. God statues can also be done once per month, and it will reward you with construction XP and either prayer or slayer XP after building each statue. The final monthly D&D is the Effigy Incubator. This is more of a late game D&D, but it can reward you with really good XP in invention, crafting, rune crafting, or smithing, and it is definitely worth doing when you do unlock it. But all of these monthly D&Ds and all the D&Ds in general that I have mentioned, they are really worth doing, and it's a really efficient way to gain some XP. The next tip is have a good PC, and that's why I partnered with Apex Gaming PCs. They offer a variety of PCs to meet your gaming needs, including their Apex Bronze, Apex Streamer, and Apex Streamer Plus builds. All three PCs come in at different price points, and what's really nice is the fact that you can finance the PC so you don't have to pay all at once, and instead pay monthly installments until it's fully paid for. If you're interested in checking out some of these PCs, click the link in the description below, and don't forget to use my 5% discount code SILENCED at checkout. Now let's get back to the next tip. Tip number 3 may be a bit controversial, but it is AFK when you can. Obviously, not everyone can play all the time, but there are times when I'm just sitting at home watching TV on my couch, and I'm logged into RS3 Mobile on my phone doing an AFK training method. For my group Ironman account, this is how I trained most of my skills, including the long grind to level 86 Archaeology. It's crazy how much progress you can make on your account just by AFKing sometimes throughout the day. And a few examples of AFK methods I used was AFK in Combat, in the Abyss, Zero Mechanic, Arc Glacier, even Krill with a fairly high level of Necromancy. There are also many skilling methods like training Archaeology with porters, gathering energy through divination. You can do mining, smithing, fishing, cooking. There's honestly so many AFK methods you can do while AFK on mobile or on a second monitor. Tip number 4 is also a bit of a personal preference, and that is use Necromancy if you want to get combat upgrades as fast as possible. Not everyone likes Necromancy, and some even see it as ruining combat in RuneScape, but there is no doubt that Necromancy is the fastest combat style to level up and get your high level gear, and it probably is the easiest to master right now as well. The nice thing about Necromancy is that you can create all your gear upgrades yourself. Sure, there are a fair amount of requirements with the upgrade tasks. You do need to defeat certain bosses like God Wars Dungeon 1 and 2, as well as Jad, at least for the tank gear tasks, but it is just a lot easier to get tier 90 Necromancy gear than getting tier 90 in any other combat style. All you need to do is complete the upgrade tasks, have your level 85 smithing and 85 crafting to create the tier 90 gear, which can be boostable, and it's just so much faster than grinding out a boss for a weapon or armor upgrade that might have a 1 in 500 drop chance, because you just have to defeat these bosses once, get the upgrade task completed, and then you're set. You can make the gear yourself. So if you're looking to get into PvM and bossing as fast as possible on an Ironman, the Necromancy is definitely the way to go. Tip number 5, try to work on 2 goals at once when possible. While playing my Ironman account, I found it extremely helpful to work on 2 goals at once. This could be completing quests to level up my Herblore level for an unlock, or getting the Tome of before AFKing my combat stats at the Abyss, so I could train combat and also gather ashes for Necromancy at the same time. Another example is me grinding out 86 Archaeology and completing all the quests for the Gate of Validness before unlocking Invention. That way, while I'm grinding the Gate of Validness for its unique rewards, I'm also training crafting and divination, working towards level 80 so I can unlock Invention. Whenever I'm thinking about the next goal I want to do on my Ironman account, I'm always trying to think of things that will help me complete multiple goals at the same time. And maybe that's just me wanting to play efficiently, and not everyone enjoys that, but I found it really helpful progressing my Ironman account. Now those are the 5 big tips that I wanted to talk about in this video, but I also have a few other smaller account goals that you should aim for early, and these include completing the Haunted Mine quest. This unlocks the Salve Amulet early, so you have an extra 15% damage against undead creatures. This can further be improved to 20% once you have completed the Tarn Razorlore mini quest. Unlocking the player-owned farm, and especially the beehives early, can get you really fast farming XP. Beehives require 17 farming to use, and you can fill them up with woad leaves, which you can buy from Wyson the Gardener and Falador. Upon checking the beehives every day, each beehive will give you a few thousand farming XP, allowing you to bypass the early farming levels very fast. Sign of Porters, they're another really important unlock for your account. You can create the lower tier porters starting at level 6 Divination, and they allow you to teleport raw materials gathered directly to your bank. I strongly recommend holding off training Archaeology until you have unlocked Porters, since they make this skill so much more AFK and bearable to train in my opinion. Getting 50 runecrafting for Viswax is another good goal to go for. Viswax is really helpful, giving you fast teleports to lodestones and aura refreshes. You'll want to start stocking up on these when you can. Reaper tasks are also great to start as soon as possible. You will need 60 combat to start them, but they give a really good amount of Slayer XP, around 10 to 48,000 Slayer XP per task depending on the task, and it can be a great way to skip some early Slayer levels. Personally, I try to do them as early as possible, and sometimes I go from 1 to maybe 30 Slayer just after one Reaper task, so it's really good to start Slayer. You'll also want to start stocking up on Reaper points for Hydrix later on. Working towards 80 crafting, smithing, and divination will also be really important later on, so you can unlock Invention. And the final quick tip is get your Anachronia base camp upgrades and your Fort 4 and 3 upgrades as soon as you can. They both provide really useful boosts, and Fort 4 and 3 is a great source of early game construction XP. It'll basically get you from level 1 to around level 50 just by completing the quest. I'm sure there are some other tips to give you guys, but those are the main important things that I noticed when I was playing Ironman mode. And I honestly really do enjoy the game mode. If you are thinking of trying it, I highly recommend it. It is very fun and really gives you that sense of accomplishment that sometimes a main account doesn't. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I am going to be going back to making more guide type content like this and money making guides and things like that. So if you are excited for that, make sure to subscribe for it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.